Warm weather, sunny skies, and major issues.
We have a little waterfall that's coming through the foundation over here.
We are picking up speed on the garage,
But it's a hair out of square.
and trying not to focus on the obvious.
We've got some flooding issues.
At least Frank is loving life.
Are you gonna slide down? Be careful.
And even though it's not perfect,
Things aren't necessarily going our way.
it could always be worse. What would Paul Hollywood say?
Absolutely lovely. But he would be lying. What's up, guys, and good morning. Yesterday, we actually ended up getting our delivery for the insulation that's gonna go under the casita upstairs, under the apartment, so the ceiling of the main part of the garage. It's really the insulation we've been waiting for so that we could put that in so we could start drywalling in the main part of the garage. This is very exciting, but we do need to do some fur outs for all of the plumbing that's in there, and also we need to add an extra light and move the lights because it's gonna be a problem once the drywall is in. The garage doors are gonna run into some of the lights. So Brandon and I are about to jump into his truck. We're gonna run to Home Depot, get some wood, get some lights, and maybe get some drywall. We'll see. Also, the sun yesterday was absolutely brutal. It was really, really hot. It was melting a lot of the snow. You can see there's gravel in multiple parts of our driveway down there. Our driveway iceberg, our big slab of ice, is slowly melting. And I think over the next 5 days, it's supposed to be like in the 50s and the 60s up here, which means massive melting. We have a little waterfall that's coming through the foundation over here that I'll show you guys later when it heats up. You know, just one problem after the other, but we're gonna jump in Brandon's truck and we're heading to Home Depot. I do have to say, I am really excited to be getting to this point where we can like fully insulate the garage and we can start hanging drywall. And I am just like having nightmares of the memories that I have of doing drywall in the house and how long it took and how tedious of a process it was. But the huge benefit in the garage is that you basically don't even have to sand it. You can put the drywall up, you can tape and mud it, and then you can literally just leave it. Like, that's good enough for code, but we'll probably do a little bit of light sanding, but if you can see the seams and you can see the tape and all this stuff, it doesn't really matter. It's the garage. We're just gonna paint it and call it good. So hopefully it won't be nearly as stressful and like nightmare inducing as the house was.
Do you feel like time is passing through you? Caught in the wind but never really moving.
So a lot of people have been commenting that they're worried about the snow that's above our house and when it starts to melt and our house flooding and stuff like that. And one really good thing about our house is we're in a position on the mountain where we're not even remotely close to any drainage paths. The only drainage that we really have to worry about is the snow on our actual property. And we kind of have it set up to where we're not gonna have issues, but pretty soon I'm gonna have an excavator and I'm gonna be able to dig out some drainage trenches so that when all the big snowbanks like really start to melt, when it starts to get really warm, the water will have a place to go and we won't have to worry. I'll show you later today the problem I was talking about in the garage, but you know, I'd rather have water coming into the garage than coming into the house. And we did a lot of waterproofing and preventative stuff on the house to make sure water would never penetrate the foundation. We did not do that on the garage, and we're learning why you need to do that on the garage. But that'll just give us another thing in the summertime that we're gonna have to dig up and fix. We are really gonna have our work cut out for us, and we're gonna have the shortest building season probably ever this year, so we might have to bring on some extra hands to help us get some stuff done this winter, or this summer.
Surround yourself with friends just to walk away, feeling smothered.
Wouldn't it be so cool if while Allie wasn't home, I just went and bought one of these hot tubs and then like had them deliver it, and then she showed up and it was like full of water and just ready to go. Allie's been bothering me about getting a hot tub for years now, And I absolutely do not want to do it just because they're super like maintenance heavy. It's really difficult to keep them warm or hot at our elevation. Like we would literally have to have this setup, which this setup is like a roof that goes over this and then it lowers down and keeps the hot tub insulated and like sealed up. That's the only way we could do it, because one, we'd have to be clearing snow off of it all the time, and two, it would be losing tons of heat. Like, we'll basically have to build another roof over the deck, and then maybe we can put a hot tub on the deck, but it's not gonna be for a very long time. Sorry, Allie. All right, we are here to find shop lights. Well, we've got to get the same shop light that we already have. Let's see if we can find one. Industrial linear low. Looks a little better. A little less damaged. A little less pre-opened and used. Onto drywall. 5/8 drywall is already heavy enough, but when they come banded with two pieces together. So two of them together, pain in the butt to move, but you get twice as much done in the same amount of time. So we're gonna take these 10 sheets back, and 10 sheets will actually do about half of the ceiling. I don't know if we'll actually get to that point today. We're gonna do the fur outs, we're gonna move the light, we're gonna do the insulation. Maybe we'll get to drywall.
Just do what I please, yes sir. I ain't got no things, no money, no means, just a wind in the wings, yes sir. I got my feet on a cloud and I won't come down. No, I won't come down. On knees, fresh from the oven, chubby and carefree. I had a mind at ease.
Are you gonna slide down? Be careful.
Trees, birds,
Slide.
and beasts, and the man and his empty deeds.
A snowblower. Yeah.
I got my feet on a cloud and I won't come down.
Look at Frank, Leo. Come here. It might not seem like much to you guys, but it's a very big deal for us. It's warm, I'm in a t-shirt, the sun is shining, the sky is blue. You have no idea how gray and overcast of a winter it has been. Everyone I've talked to has been dealing with seasonal affective disorder. Everyone has just been unmotivated and a little bit sad all winter long because it's just been so gray. And it starts to really affect you after a while. And now the sun is out and I'm just so excited. I don't even care how much flooding and melting happens. It feels amazing out here. Look at this deck. This deck is fully thawed. I'm thinking about bringing up the umbrella and some chairs and a table. Maybe we can eat out here. I know it's gonna snow again because that's just the way things work up here, but we have a short period where it's like teasing us with a little bit of summertime weather, and I'm here for it. Can you clap your hands? How do you clap? Yeah! Clap, 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 clap. There he is! Come on, buddy. What are you doing out here? Oh, that's a shovel. Yay! Good job. Wow. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy.
I got my feet on the cloud and I
Good boy. Good job, Leo. Good job. Good morning.
Morning. All right, well, we got all the stuff we need to start doing the fur downs and to get the insulation in, and then we got a little bit of drywall. Probably won't get to that today, but at least we have some, so.
That's okay. If the reason we don't get to drywall is because we're busy putting up the umbrella and the furniture on the deck, that's fine with me. It's okay.
It's not time for that.
I don't know how you guys feel, but I am going to savor as short a window as we have until it snows again, and I'm gonna put some chairs up on that deck and enjoy it, even if it's like for 48 hours. Dude, look at all this dirt.
I know.
This
Crazy.
is amazing.
The roads are so nice.
I know. Unfortunately, they're gonna get worse before they get better,
That's very
because
true.
even with this warm weather, as nice as it is, it just means the roads are gonna get muddier and wetter, and all of the snow melt is going to start degrading the roads. But if that's what it takes to be a little bit warm and sunny up here, it's fine with me.
Yeah, the roads down at the bottom are
Like dry, like solid
excellent.
dry. Yeah. I don't know how well Trent explained all of this already, but we have a big productive day ahead of us. Not only do we have insulation, and we are preparing to insulate the division between the casita and the lower part of the garage, the floor ceiling combination, but Trent is also going to switch around some electrical and move one of the lights so that everything fits, basically, because the garage doors were a little bit too tight with insulation and drywall, so we're recessing some lights, we're moving some stuff around. Hopefully we can get everything done quickly and easily so we can actually start insulating today, which is going to be really cool. It's going to really change the look of this place.
Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete. I got my eyes on you, and you got no clue what I'm supposed to.
Now, I know this seems very premature. I know it is very premature, but I'm not entirely stupid. I know that if I take the snowblower and shovels off the deck, it will snow, in the next 10 minutes. So the only reason I'm bringing these chairs up is because it's okay if they get wet. And if we know that there is some snow coming, it's easy to just kind of pull them toward the house. I'm not bringing out the cushions or the umbrella, but like I said, I'm soaking it in, guys. It feels amazing. Light number 2.
This is the third one.
Nice.
Take back little by little, piece by piece. I take back little by little, piece by piece.
All right, so I just got the wires rerun. I just got the wires ran for, gosh, I hate this grammar stuff. I just ran the wires.
There you go.
For these 3 lights that are going to go here. So we'll have 2 lights up front, 2 lights in the middle, and then 3 lights over here in between the 2 garage doors and 1 on either side, and they will be running long ways. It'll be really cool because it'll give me like some nice immediate light right above the work table, so that's cool. Also, it's going to be brighter because there'll be 3 lights instead of 2. And once we get drywall, these lights will reflect off of the white drywall after it's painted and actually light up the space even better.
Cool.
So I'm stoked about that. Now that I've got those lights taken care of, I think we can start insulating.
Wow.
Right?
down.
Oh, we got to do the fur downs.
Fur down.
Okay.
Not a hoe down, just a fur down.
Just the fur down. Put one on each side of the pipe. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to build these fur downs. So a fur down is where normally your drywall would just mount to the trusses up here and you would just do the entire ceiling. But since we have this plumbing that had to be below the trusses because we can't drill holes in this or it would compromise the structural integrity of the trusses and the casita could end up inside the garage. We had to put the plumbing below these trusses, which means these have to be drywalled in. And you can't just like drywall up to it and then just like mud around it. So you've got to build basically a box for drywall to mount on that goes around all of the plumbing. So we've got to do a fur down for this entire pipe here, for the pipe coming over from the toilet right there, and then the full section that's going to go all the way down to our clean out down there at the very bottom. It's not actually that difficult. It's just like a little bit of brain work that you got to do the entire time, which not the funnest, but we're gonna get her handled.
Brain work commence.
Brain work makes the main work.
You a sundog?
Feeling in my bones.
All right, let's just build this side.
I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky. I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn.
Dang it. It's so hard to like hold it right where it needs to go.
To make something right, make up for what I've lost.
Look out! Look out! Look out! There you go.
Things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know.
This is classic building up here on our property. These guys are making it work. It might not be the most beautiful fur down you've ever seen, but it will be functional. And it's in the garage, so it's okay if it's not absolutely gorgeous. It's coming along fairly quickly. The like measuring is what's taking the longest, and like making sure this first line is where they need it to be. The rest will go pretty quickly.
And it's the same length as the second.
Without love in your heart, without love by your side, without love playing part, tell me what you do. Tell me what you
So we've got probably maybe 50%, about halfway of this done right now. We've got all of our little 2x4s that are hanging down off of the joists. We've got a couple on this side, and we've got our runners that are gonna go up the wall on this side and on that side. Basically, once we get all of this done, it's just gonna allow us to be able to use drywall to box all of this in. It doesn't have to be like structural. It's not gonna take any loads. We're not gonna be like running things into this. It's basically just a drywall like fascia piece that's gonna go on the front. So once we get these sides done over here, we have to do two that are gonna basically encase this tube here that hangs down kind of low right there. And then we'll be done.
Tell me what you do. Tell me what you do. Without love in your heart, without love playing part, love in your heart. Tell me what you do. Tell me what you do.
So we are about to get a little creative. We probably shouldn't get as creative as we're going to get, but we're gonna try it. The main drain is right here, and we have to box this in, and we don't wanna like build a full-fledged wall that's all crazy. We just want something that the drywall can hang on, and so it doesn't have to be like super structural or really strong or anything like that. We just wanna make sure that it's good enough. Oh, the head's up. It feels really nice out here in the sun.
Yeah.
We're like working with the garage doors open, and it's cold. It's like, it's actually cold outside. It's cold in there, and in the shade, it's really cold. When you come outside, you're like, dang, it feels like spring out
I
here.
know.
It feels great.
Can you see the deck from here?
Oh, yeah. You should not have done that.
I'm
Now
done
we
with
got-
winter.
We got some chairs up there that she jumped the gun with no table and no umbrella and no Traeger. I am excited for summer as well.
It's coming, guys. We have to get through. Right now, I'd say we're in like, second spring. Then it's gonna go back to third winter, fourth spring, fourth winter. Like we've got a few more bounce backs and fourths. Bounce backs and fourths.
Yeah.
You know what I
A couple
mean?
bounce backs.
You know what I mean. But it's coming. It's coming. It's going in the right direction.
Mess. A mess with a capital M.
I mean, it's gonna work.
Yeah, the good news is, once the drywall's on, you don't know what's under it.
I mean, everyone watching this video will.
Yeah, it's true. But it doesn't have to be pretty, you know. That's why it's called rough framing.
We'll let the finished carpenters deal with this.
Yeah. And the drywall guys. The drywall guys are gonna have a fun time with it.
In case you're wondering who the finish framers and the drywall guys are, it's these two right here.
Like this would be fine. It's just that it's like not really square. And so you'll notice that when you look at the drywall after it's done, it'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, that fur out is like not square. But it's a hair out of square. I think it's fine.
It's a garage.
Whether it's fine or not, I don't actually care. So
Yeah.
I think it's good.
That's the truth right there.
Truth. I've given up. We've got about an hour and 15 minutes worth of insulation we can throw up. Let's see how far we get.
Another uh-oh?
Right, it's just what holds the casita up.
Oh my gosh. What would Paul Hollywood say?
Absolutely lovely. But he would be lying. I am discouraged. One, I thought we were going to make a lot more progress today. And two, this fur down looks like crap.
What is John Scott's thing? It'll grout.
It'll grout.
It's
yeah.
fine.
That's very true. It will mud.
It won't look good, but it will mud.
Yeah.
It'll drywall.
It'll drywall. Fur down is done. Brain work complete. You did all the brain work.
They're good, huh?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, the headache of that ugly atrocity that you're seeing right there is behind us now. I'm not going to worry about that anymore. And once we're done with drywall, I'll probably never think about it again. But until then, it's a massive eyesore, and we're okay with that. I think we're going to cut open a couple bags of insulation and start filling these bays.
Cool.
Hopefully we can make some real good progress on that.
All right. Look at this. They're even orange.
Right. They smell really bad.
First time Trent's doing the dishes ever.
Yeah, right. It's not funny. People think you're serious.
No matter how like organic and safe insulation is, it just gets so itchy. It gets on everything. And so the like opening, the gap between your sleeve and your glove, always like your whole wrist just gets so itchy whenever you're touching insulation. So Trent's bright idea was to get dish gloves with the cuff that goes over his sleeve, or his sleeve to go,
Inside my sleeve.
yeah.
They're like this long. Now I'm ready.
Bit more complicated than they were expecting, but it's not impossible. It's just going a little bit slower than expected. Our friend is actually bringing up some scaffolding next week to help do the drywall on the ceiling, but maybe it'll also be helpful to put up the insulation on the ceiling. It's just kind of difficult to do all of this on a ladder at an angle, and then you have to move the ladder basically every time you go to another bay. It's just a little slow going, but there are worse things. we've got some flooding issues.
Oh, I'm slipping away, so don't let me go. Nah, 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 nah. I'm all up in that.
All right.
Get yourself a Cheeto.
Cheese curl.
Oh, excuse me.
We're quitters. I'm literally just ready to throw in the towel.
On the entire build?
Yep.
It's really difficult to figure out the best way to do this because there's no like top or bottom to press the insulation onto. So it's almost like it will be tighter and a little bit more complicated to do drywall and then insulation. It'll just be like a smaller space. But a lot of these bats, what did we decide they're called? Bales? Are just falling out as soon as Trent pushes them in.
The fur downs on the pipes kind of took it out of me. Took a lot of energy and time and brain power. Now I'm tired, I'm hungry.
We could do a snack break.
A break assumes that I'm gonna get back to work afterwards.
Okay, sorry, we could just do snack time.
Things aren't necessarily going our way, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully tomorrow, which is gonna be a different video for you guys, we'll be able to get more of the insulation in, we'll have scaffolding, and we'll be able to start putting up some of the drywall to hold the scaffolding in place. That's the thing that I'm like kind of waiting for.
Hold the insulation in place.
Yeah.
Hold the
Not the
scaffolding.
It could hold all of it, actually.
The scaffolding will
No.
hold the scaffolding.
It'll be nice. We'll have scaffolding and drywall so that we can use the drywall to hold all the insulation in place so that we can finish the entire ceiling.
Everyone's hungry. That's always a huge hurdle. If you're ever like feeling overwhelmed, take a break and have a snack. I guarantee you'll feel so much better. So we're gonna give these guys some food, something to drink, a little bit of sunshine. It's gonna happen. It just might not happen as easily as we thought it would.
We're still quitting, but I'm gonna take care of these bales first.
Okay.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know.
So I mentioned this earlier, I was gonna show you guys where we have a little waterfall here in the garage. Now, I guess it's probably not really easy to see on camera. Go ahead and shake your foot, Brandon. See how that huge area is just like a giant pond? The entire back of this garage has like 4 inches of water in it. The front of the garage is kind of dry until like you get to where the sun doesn't hit, and then there's still a giant iceberg in here. Let me just show you 2 rather large problem spots that we have here in the garage. So I don't know if it really is gonna come across well in the video, but
Yeah, touch it.
that's just water completely spewing.
Get it to pool.
Oh, you can't really see that either.
Take a drink, Brandon.
Yeah, go ahead and have a
I'm
sip.
not sipping on that.
So that's water just coming through the crack in the foundation. So this is one of the additions. Like the original foundation was there. We had them join a piece of concrete, another footing or another wall here to that wall. They rebarred, epoxied, did everything, but there's still a crack there. So water is like creating pressure from all of the groundwater that's melting behind the garage, and it's forcing its way through the garage. That's problem number 1. Over here, we basically have a river just coming through the corner of our framing right there. Even though we put down our seal sealer, we put down everything we could have like taped and gooped the crack underneath the wall right there, but we didn't have time because it started snowing basically while we were framing these walls.
I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, there's
Massive.
a lot of water coming through there. But, I mean, it's no surprise. There's like 11 feet of snow in a giant mound on the outside of that wall that's just melting daily. So it's only a matter of time before more of it starts to come in other places. And I guess there's actually 3 problem areas in our garage because there's that same issue happening again. So if you look right here, see that wet spot? That is also groundwater being pressed up against the back of the garage and coming through where we have our hole for our main line to go out. It is not sealed well enough. So probably in the summer, we got a couple places we're gonna have to dig up and try and like seal somehow, because that water coming through the foundation in both of these spots is not because we had a crazy snow year. Like anytime the snow starts to melt in the springtime, that stuff is gonna happen because that both of those issues are like 3 feet underground. That's not like some, you know, because the snow is so tall it's causing an issue. That's just groundwater coming into our foundation. Luckily, it's in the garage and not in the house.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of a bummer.
The real way you know that summer is actually coming is today is the first day of Trent and Brandon's golf league, which I know they're super excited about. It's something that they did together last year. Remind everyone how well you guys played last year.
We won. It's a league where like no one is playing it to be competitive except for Brandon and I, so we're just in there like slam dunking on people, but it's still fun.
Yeah. You stoked?
Oh yeah, we're gonna win again.
I'm just excited for there to be no snow in the valley and us to be able to play golf because there's gonna be snow up here for a very long time.
Tell me, should have known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow.
You know what? I feel really good about what we got done today. We got a bunch of the insulation done. We got all the fur downs done. We even got some drywall delivered up here, so we're poised to start making a lot of progress.
Delivered by the drywall delivery guys, aka Trent and Brandon.
Oh man, AKA instead of LKL.
That's right.
Anyway, if you guys enjoyed coming along on today's adventure, make sure you show us by giving us a big thumbs up on today's video. Consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already.
Thank you guys. We love you.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios.
Feeling in my bones, I can feel it in my veins.